UW360 is proudly supported by BECU, a not-for-profit member-owned credit union. Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW360. We have a great show ahead. We're going to follow a pharmacist who's helping people overcome drug addiction. We'll hear the story behind an innovative commuter plan, the brainchild of UW students. And we'll check out alternative energy sources being developed by the UW and Yakima Nation. We'll wrap up with a visit to Husky Fest, a campus-wide party celebrating the UW's 150th anniversary. But first, we take you to Fluke Hall, where a new facility is helping grow new businesses.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Lyndon Rhodes, and it's so gratifying to see so many of you here to celebrate with us the opening of the C4C New Ventures facility here at the University of Washington.
On a February morning in 2012, the University of Washington opened a business park of sorts, an incubator for startup companies. Called New Ventures, the facility in Fluke Hall is the latest evolution of the university's Center for Commercialization, or C4C. As an incubator, New Ventures offers offices, even laboratories. It's a brick-and-mortar manifestation of the university's role as a bridge between research and business.
Impel Neuropharma is really dedicated to solving the largest problem in neurological drug development today.
New Ventures is the crown jewel in an ongoing commitment to bring research out of the ivory tower of education.
So here we have the polymer outside of the cell
and into commercial application.
What we do in the research mission of this university is really designed to make the world a better place. But if it stays in the university, it doesn't accomplish its goal. Our capacity to expand that out and get it into the lives of real people is what this is all about.
It's a great university, a lot of intellectual ferment. You talk to people, just the enthusiasm that people have for their research is contagious.
What we intend to do...
Tom Schulte's startup company, NextGenia, is a prime example of how research finds its way out of the lab and into commercial uses. Tom has a background in medical diagnostics and is a former entrepreneur in residence at C4C. In that role, he helped UW scientists assess the commercial value of their research. When he talked to Patrick Staten about his lab's work with a unique class of polymers, Tom was intrigued. These smart polymers immediately react to changes in temperature, pH, or light, transforming from a single molecule into clusters. And if the polymers are bound to other molecules, those molecules react the same way.
And we believe that this property will make better diagnostic assays for use in clinical laboratories where your serum may be tested for cholesterol or for markers of heart attacks or for recurrence of tumors.
These quick-change polymers could lead to faster, more accurate medical tests. So, partnering with the UW researchers, Tom formed the company NextGenia. But starting a business and making it a reality are two different propositions, especially a startup in need of very specialized laboratory space.
Oven, dishwasher, autoclave.
Something New Ventures provides. For NextGenia, the incubator is a godsend.
You need specialized equipment, you need specialized infrastructure. It's like, are there places to store nitrogen tanks? Chemical research always involves the generation of organic solvent waste. That's something that has to be treated very specially. The ability to deliver chemicals, to store chemicals, and for a small startup company, each of those things amounts to an expense that you'd like to avoid if possible.
Businesses in the New Ventures incubator also share business support, such as printers and conference rooms. But New Ventures offers more intangible advantages too. The synergy from sharing space with other startups and an office address at one of the nation's premier research universities.
3, 2, 1.
how do we take what is really great and being done here at this university and use, with a partnership with the business community, that opportunity to take it out into the lives of real people. The exciting thing about this building today is it provides us a wonderful physical manifestation, both of our commitment to do this and of the kind of connections that are essential.
For more information about the Center for Commercialization or about any of the stories in this program, you'll find a link on our website, uwtv.org/UW360. Stay with us. We'll be right back to celebrate the 20th anniversary of UPass. Welcome back, everyone. Every day, tens of thousands of people converge here on the UW campus. And 20 years ago, some forward-thinking students came up with a brilliant plan to make that commute a little easier.
A 150 years ago, the first student walked onto the UW campus. Not much of a carbon footprint. But as the world changed and the university grew, tens of thousands of people traveled to campus daily. And they brought their cars.
A constant source of annoyance to students, faculty, and visitors alike is the ever-increasing problem of parking.
Traffic was a problem. We were hearing from neighborhoods adjacent to the university that there were parking problems. Parking was a major issue.
Heidi Wills was ASUW president in 1990 to 1991. She championed an innovative solution to the traffic and parking problems that plagued the U District for years.
There are problems with that many people at such a large university driving to campus. It just made so much sense to make public transportation something that's more affordable and more attractive to more people.
That was the birth of the Universal Pass, or UPass. The idea was simple but revolutionary. Provide one pass that gives unlimited access to all of the county's metro options, encouraging students and staff to use alternative modes of transportation.
UPass is great because it addresses one of our biggest transit-oriented centers, the University District. It puts in the hands of 40,000 students and some 13,000 staff the means to use our entire transit system.
But in recent years, with the economy in recession, the UPass program began having serious financial difficulties.
In 2008 to 2009, because of many factors that were outside of the university's control, we saw a doubling in the price of the UPass, which was making the program unsustainable, causing a huge mass of students to begin opting out of the program. And we saw participation rates in the program at historic lows, which was basically threatening a death spiral of increasing costs, declining participation.
In 2011, students stepped up to save UPass. With their support, the UW Board of Regents approved the universal UPass fee.
And the universal UPass means that everybody pays a UPass fee every quarter.
With the universal UPass, the cost to students has actually gone down 23%. Now all UW students and more than half the staff have this handy little card to help them get around. And the benefits of UPass are felt outside of the campus community. For starters, UPass helps keep about 8,000 metric tons of CO2 emissions out of the air we all breathe. It also frees up traffic congestion on city streets and major highways, as about 55,000 people commute to campus using transportation that's greener than driving alone.
And what we've seen is a dramatic shift in behavior. I think that it really shows us that when you give people the transit alternatives and you make it easy and convenient for them to use it, they will use it.
And using UPass makes the UW more green, more accessible, and a better neighbor.
And we were the first, we were the trailblazers, so congratulations, Huskies.
On April 20th, 2012, both the City of Seattle and King County declared UPass Day, recognizing 20 years of community impact.
I'm really proud that we can ensure that the UPass will continue for at least another 20 years and beyond. And I'm excited that we can count on the UPass being there for students for the next generation.
If you'd like more information about UPass, just check out the link on our website. Okay, now we're off to Eastern Washington, where the UW is working with Washington tribes to develop energy sources from natural resources, like logging waste and wind power.
From the lab to the lumberyard, University of Washington researchers are helping make fuel out of forest waste.
We call our program Bioresource-Based Energy for Sustainable Societies.
Through a grant from the National Science Foundation, doctoral students in engineering and forest resources partner with Native American tribes, developing use of sustainable resources for energy production. Steve Rigdon is both a student in the program and a manager at Yakima Power, a Yakima Nation utility.
The Yakima Nation through Yakima Power are looking at opportunities to use egg waste, mill waste, forest waste as a renewable energy source for biofuels.
Sawdust and other wood waste can be burned to produce energy, replacing some of the fossil fuels used to run the mill. Elsewhere, agricultural and forest waste can be ground up for fuel as well. Benefits for tribes include new jobs and revenue from selling power, a cleaner environment through replacing fossil fuels, and support for forest restoration with fewer uncontrolled forest fires as logging debris is removed.
We always are looking for the triple bottom line, which is the environmental impacts, the societal impacts, and the economic impacts of our work.
Societal impacts involve the mark that renewable energy options leave on the landscape. For example, Yakima Power is building a wind turbine demonstration site so the tribe can assess both the aesthetic and cultural effects. And the University of Washington is there to help with all the options.
The students are working with absolutely the best facilities and equipment and faculty to answer really important, far-reaching questions.
It's creating a sustainable energy option with the existing infrastructure, the multi-resource ecosystem services that the Yakima Nation and our neighbors really want to see coming out of their forests.
Since we first aired that story, the tribal partnership projects have grown to involve other universities and tribes in our region through USDA funding of the Northwest Advanced Renewables Alliance. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll meet a UW professor on a mission to help people with drug and alcohol addictions. Welcome back to UW 360. Pharmacists help people prevent, manage, and overcome countless health issues, and UW professor Mickey Kedzierski is no exception. In her work with addicts, she combines medication and counseling with no judgment.
How have you been since I saw you last?
Pretty good. I've been having a little...
Mickey Kedzierski is a pharmacist with a mission.
Okay, so I've got 2 full bottles of 100 for you.
The medication she's preparing is methadone.
And I'm going to count these out for you.
Her patients are people who struggle with addiction.
5, 10. So I try to look at what is a person doing today? How have they been successful? How have they not? What can they do that might change, and to try to lead them on to the next stage. So it's like using behavior modification and motivational techniques in a sense to get through every day. Anything in particular bring it about?
Mickey is a clinical professor in the University of Washington School of Pharmacy and a chemical dependency professional. She acts as the pharmacy consultant at Evergreen Treatment Services in Seattle, where she provides patients with medication and counseling.
What we do primarily is outpatient medication-assisted treatment for people who have opioid dependence. They're heroin addicts and OxyContin addicts and the like.
And your dose is 135? That's right.
This is a very regulated form of addiction treatment.
Thank you.
Having a professional pharmacist here helps us make sure that we're complying fully with all of those regulations.
Go.
The other thing that we use her for is dispensing medication to some of our longer-term patients, people who have made a lot of progress in recovery, and she does it in just this elegant, gracious way to continue what we like to believe is a good working alliance with these patients to support them in their ongoing recovery.
You have counseling today at 9. Our patients start out on liquid methadone. They come in 6 days a week. They dose in front of us. They meet with their counselors, their addiction counselors, and their medical staff. We work with them to change their risky behaviors, so we decrease things like drug dealing, prostitution, other sorts of things, and we try to promote positive socialization. So it's an all-around intensive program.
Do I need a referral?
Back at the UW, Mickey teaches pharmacy students about chemical dependency. Each week, she takes some of her students to the Salvation Army's Adult Rehabilitation Center, or ARC. It's a residential program that helps men and women overcome alcohol and drug dependencies. Residents work for the Salvation Army while receiving counseling and chemical dependency education.
We talk in a small group for about an hour about anything from their background story to their plan as to what they're going to do when they leave. We even answer questions to them that they have about us and what we do in school.
I think it's a win-win on both sides, as we get to see young students coming in and wanting to learn about addiction, and they get to learn what it's like as an addict and what we do in our addiction, and also that we're real people too.
You may not have answers for some of the questions that people ask. You might find yourself embarrassed or uncomfortable because you don't know how to respond, and you might find yourself really touched by some of these stories.
When I think about addiction now, as opposed to what I used to think of it, there's a lot less prejudice in my mind, and you start to realize that an addiction is a lot more than the drugs they're putting in their body that they're addicted to. Their addiction stems from their childhood, the friends they hung out with, the way they think, mental illness. A number of things culminate in them turning to drugs to avoid the problems that they never really had the opportunity to learn how to deal with.
The pharmacy students and the ARC residents learn from each other.
When I first got clean and sober, I thought that everything would be, just peaches and cream and wonderful all the time. And that was a big reality check for me to realize that, when you're not using, life is still going to be life.
To know that they're happy that we were here, changing our lives, made it really cool. It's like they make our day, but we're making their day too. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Mickey and her UW students bring expertise, open minds, and hope to people who are working to overcome addiction.
When I retire from practice, I would feel assured that there are people out in the community that are continuing to do that kind of work, not only pharmacists, but all healthcare practitioners. If we can do that kind of work, I think we have a much better opportunity to maybe affect some greater change.
When I'm really struggling, to just think of things I'm grateful for, because I have so much to be grateful for, and if I can remember that, it makes the bad stuff so much easier to deal with.
You'll find a link on our website to more information about the UW School of Pharmacy, as well as Evergreen Treatment Services and the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center. Stay with us. We'll take you to Husky Fest as UW 360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. The University of Washington is celebrating its 150th anniversary this year, and Husky Fest showcased some of the university's major accomplishments in a campus-wide party.
You might say it's an event 150 years in the making.
So this is the official opening of Husky Fest. We're celebrating again 150 years of extraordinary things at this university.
This one's really meant to be for the community, where the city of Seattle and the University of Washington have kind of grown up together over the last century and a half, and we've shaped it and it shaped us. And this is an opportunity for us to kind of say thank you to the community, to bring them in, to share what's great about the University of Washington, not just the academics, but the people, the buildings, the beautiful scenery here we have on campus.
Yay! Yay! I love it. It was very nice to meet you. I'm Heather Edlund.
Husky Fest is somewhat of a revival.
Well, we actually used to do something called Washington Weekend a number of years ago.
Parents and alums probably remember that event, but the university planned this edition on a much grander scale.
You know, Seattle's got lots of great festivals. Folklife Festival, Bumbershoot, Bite of Seattle. There's nothing going on particularly in the April time frame, and so we thought this is something that we could start a new tradition here.
Something for every taste.
This is an indication of your risk for cardiovascular disease, and you get certain genes from your mom and you get certain genes from your dad, and you make certain environmental decisions.
And every interest.
Wanted to see what the UW's about and learn about my mom's school.
Yeah, because I went to school here 20 years ago. Long time ago.
Brought my son here for his first trip to UW, and what a better place to come than Husky Fest.
It's just a totally different experience that you don't get in a lot of other fields.
No, I'd like people to know that this really is one of the top 20 universities in the entire planet, that it produces an enormous number of extraordinary graduates who do just remarkable things.
I'm wearing the robotic life suit exoskeleton. It's designed for paralyzed people so that they can walk.
You can just list off those things that they've done. That this university has been responsible for inventions as far-flung as the kidney dialysis machine, the sonic toothbrush, the processes for television production, bubble gum, and the list goes on and on of things this university has done.
All your components attached to you, like your suspension.
Well, our hope is that this will be an annual event. This will be the first Husky Fest, and we will have lots of opportunities every year. Invite people on campus, experience the university, enjoy the things that we take for granted and get to enjoy every day.
Hey!
Enjoy, and maybe brag a little too.
Well, we try not to brag, but I was talking with some Ivy League presidents the other day. We get a lot more federal research funding than they do. And I said, you know, if they talk to me, I could show them how to build a better university. Sure.
Stay with us. UW 360 continues right after this. That's it for this edition of UW 360. You can catch this episode again on our website, uwtv.org/UW360, where you'll also find links to more information on everything we've covered today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with all news stories from the University of Washington.